if you've been living in a cave for the last 7 years, then you need an introduction to our guest. Otherwise, you know Shelley Long, and it is great to have you here in Boston.
No, it's great to be here.
Yeah? Is it?
Yeah, I like Boston a lot.
We would think naively, so because Cheers was set here, that you would feel some kind of attraction for Boston.
I do, but I felt that before I ever did Cheers. I did my first movie here, which was called A Small Circle of Friends.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a very small role in that movie, even smaller once it was edited. But I had a lot of time on my hands. They kept me around waiting to do my scenes, so I got to really know Boston. I'd wander around. I took a photography course while I was here because I played a photographer. I named my cat, who I still have, after the character in the movie. So that was a real important first for me.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
great.
I will forever love Boston for that reason.
How are you? You've
I'm
been
good.
so busy. Do you feel a little like you left a little of yourself in Cleveland and a little in Chicago, or are you?
No. Well, Chicago's another one of my favorites because I worked there for many years. So that's where we started our tour, and now to come here, it's very appropriate that these are the first two cities of my press tour. They're two of my favorites, truly. And they give me something. They don't
Good.
take from me, they give.
That's good, Shelley. You, in Chicago, you not only hosted a
Okay,
triple...
they take a little.
Okay, all right, a little.
They take a little, but they give a lot.
You hosted a triple Emmy Award-winning show in...
Actually, the show won more than that because when I joined it, it had already won, I think, I don't know how many Emmys, but fortunately, it didn't stop winning them when I joined. So I have 3 from that show. Yes.
This was a local show?
A local magazine format show. We talk about Chicago and their neighborhoods and events that would come into Chicago. I got to be a clown in the circus for one day with the Ringling Brothers,
fun.
Barnum and Bailey circus. Oh, it was great. It was a dream come true.
You also, the Second City was so important to you.
Yes,
in
very much
Chicago.
so. That was my jumping off point in many ways.
A training ground, good training.
Oh, wonderful, absolutely. I don't think there are very many places like that around. So I was really glad to have found one of them.
For those that don't know, Second City, Chevy Chase, Jim Belushi, John
Not
Belushi.
Chevy, I don't think.
No?
Jim Belushi and John, of course, and Gilda Radner and Dan Aykroyd. And now some of these people were Canadian Second City and some Chicago. The Belushis were Chicago. And I worked with Jimmy right before I left my company and got to know him a little bit. He's one of my favorites.
That's great.
Yeah.
This new film, it looks, we got to see the trailer. You know, we see a lot of movie clips here. This one had the whole staff on the floor.
Oh, good!
It's called Hello Again, and we're going to play the whole thing for you because it'll cheer up your Monday morning. Here you go. That's so great.
Yeah, a wild and crazy girl.
A humming brassiere.
Yeah! Woo!
Oh, this movie looks great. Lucy Chadman.
Yes, yes, one of my favorite characters. I loved playing her. I loved playing her. She's a really neat lady. I mean, yes, she makes mistakes, as you can tell. She's one of those people, like many of us, who, if she gets a little nervous or off balance in a social situation, she falls down or she walks into a wall or something, and it truly does come out of her sense of inadequacy, not feeling like she's quite at home or well accepted, and bless her heart, you just love her for that, you know. Even I, who took her bruises and bumps, I still love her.
A lot of physical comedy in this.
Oh, and I loved it. It was like dessert.
Really?
Oh, yes, and I love dessert, Eileen.
Yeah, I know.
I do. Yes.
We Indiana girls, it's tough.
Oh, everywhere. Girls
Yeah.
everywhere.
Girl, once on the lips, forever on the hips. Yeah, absolutely. But you really do like physical comedy.
I do. I do. I just love it. Maybe that's true of Hoosiers as
Maybe,
well,
yeah.
because I sure started young. And I haven't really had that much chance to do physical comedy here and there. I had to be very physical in Outrageous Fortune with all the leaping and ballet and fencing and all of that. But when you get to fall down a lot, now that's comedy, Eileen. That's comedy.
You know, there's so many things in your life that are so
Do you have a
important to
basketball
you.
in your lap, Eileen?
No,
Oh,
no. Actually, I was just about to talk
Oh.
about children. How did you know?
Oh, I'm
No,
so
it's not a
happy for
basketball.
you.
It feels like one, but you went through this just 3 years ago, right?
3 years ago, yes.
Yeah, Juliana's
yes, and
2
I was
years.
working. She's 2.5 and ready for college.
Yeah, I'll bet she is.
That's why we came to Boston. We're checking it out, you know? I want her to choose.
Do you call her your sweet banana?
Oh, yes, I call her my sweet banana. I call her whatever I want to call her, you know, or whatever she responds to in the moment.
She's changed your life, right?
Yes, yes. She's opened it up. She's great. They all are. Those little people, you know? You have one of your own, suddenly the whole world is little people. You look down. Oh, there's this whole population running around on little legs, you know? Or in strollers, you know?
It's great. You see things differently. Your priorities change, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's the best.
You did something so extraordinary, though. I mean, she was only a couple of months old when you did Money Pit, and you left Bruce, your husband, and took her with you.
She was 2.5 weeks old.
How'd you do that?
I don't know.
Do you know why you did that?
Yes, because I wanted to have a child very much, and I love making movies. And I could only do that once a year when I was doing Cheers. And I hadn't made one. There was one hiatus where I didn't make a movie because I couldn't find anything I really liked. But I had a strong sense, even before I got pregnant, that I needed to make a movie the next hiatus. But I also had a very strong sense, and you know we ladies, you're not going to talk us out of our strong senses.
No way.
I knew that I needed to make a movie, and I knew that I needed to be a mommy. And I was right. And I did both, and it was fine, just fine.
But your marriage must be pretty solid to be able to pick up and leave and take the new baby away from the new daddy and...
Well, yeah, I guess so. I didn't question that, you know? And he knows me. He knows from the beginning what I wanted to do in terms of career. He was the one that talked me into this baby business, and he was right.
Yeah, you met him on a blind date, didn't you?
I did, yes. Thank you, God.
Yeah, you knew right away?
Oh, yeah, right away.
Why, after all these years?
Well, he's good looking for one thing,
That'll
Eileen.
help.
That doesn't hurt,
No.
you know? I looked at him, oh, he's gorgeous. And I knew my friend that introduced us, that had set us up, blah, 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 I can't even talk about him, that he was funny. Good looking and funny.
Oh, you two must be incredible
And
together.
tall.
And tall.
And tall.
That's good.
No, he wouldn't have had to be tall. I like tall men. They don't have to be tall, but tall doesn't hurt.
Was it a press story when you were doing Caveman that he would tromp through the mud with his briefcase to get to you?
Well, bless his heart, you know, he had to commute to find us. And I don't know how many planes he'd have to take to get to Durango, Mexico. And it was easy for John Wayne. He just got on a horse, you know. But it's not that easy for most of us. So up comes Bruce with his briefcase and in his Brooks Brothers suit. He was adorable. Right in the middle of us discovering music, you know, in our furs.
Yeah. He was the alien. He was in the three-piece suit.
Yes,
You guys were in the
yes.
leopard cloth.
Who's that guy? Flash forward.
You know, you knew, speaking of knowing things you want to do and not changing your mind, you knew and told your parents, two teachers,
Yes.
that you were going to go into this business, and it didn't sit well with them, did it?
They weren't crazy about the idea, no. They'd try to talk me out of that for years, just because they thought it might not be a real pleasant place for a woman to survive.
Were they right?
Well, it has its unpleasant moments, I suppose. It's tricky, but, you know, any place can be tricky. You just, especially if you're looking to get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
But they since acknowledge that I made the right choice. For me, maybe it wouldn't be the right choice for everybody, of course.
It seems that you want to do everything right and that you strive for perfection, and I wonder if that comes from your mom
Me?
and dad. Yeah. Well, I've read enough about you.
Nah.
That true?
Nah. No, it is true. It is true. Yes, I like to do it as right as... Isn't everybody like that?
You
Don't
put
you
a lot
want
of
to do it
pressure
as
on
right
yourself.
I do, and I ask a lot of the people around me. I ask nicely. But yeah, I want it to be perfect, because it can be, well, real close.
Yeah.
Depends on your definition of perfect. We're all perfect, you know, whether we try or not. But yes, there are some things that somehow get more perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it good. I like it really good.
It's good right now, isn't it?
It is very good,
That's
and it's going to get better.
Good,
for
Shelley.
you.
Oh, thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thank you. I can't wait. Yeah.
And what's very
So
nice.
excited. Hello Again opens on November the 4th.
6th.
Well, I wanted it to open earlier than
Oh,
that.
well, good.
All right,
Well,
November
maybe we
the
can
6th.
do that for you.
We'll just have to wait those 2 days. Can't wait to see you as
Thank
Lucy
you.
Chadman. Thanks,
Thank you.
Shelley.